Hi, I'm Arinder Bhullar,
Hi, I'm Shiv, Rura.
and this is the Arinder Bhullar Podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of the Arinder Bhullar Podcast. This is our second Q&A episode, hosted by yours truly, KaeDee, the producer and director of this program. And I am joined today by our hosts, as always, our stylist, Shiv, Rura, designer and name behind the brand, Arinder Bhullar. And let's just jump right into it. We've got a few questions.
Should say hello.
Hello.
We can say hello if we want to. But I thought we'd just jump right in as we usually do. We've had a few questions. Thank you to everyone who sent a question in. And if you do have any questions you want to send in, you can send them to us at Arinder Bhullar or Styled by Shiv Rura on Instagram and TikTok and wherever else. Leave a comment as well, and we'll get through it at some point. So let's start with our first question. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah? All right, we're going to throw them right into the deep end. Do you feel that wearing black at a wedding is offensive? This was sent in by Brittany.
I personally don't think it's offensive because black is another colour, and we wear it when we wear English clothes, and men wear it when they go to weddings, as in suits. So why is it offensive for girls to wear black at a wedding?
I kind of see it. I don't think it's offensive, but like so many people when they come into store, I always feel like every time they say they're going to a wedding and you show them something black, or even if it's a black outfit, maybe they don't want to wear it because they class it as like a mourning colour. But then if it's more for like a superstitious thing, in terms of some people are very superstitious and they have all these little things that they obviously believe and follow in. I'm not someone that personally, I can't say I don't follow superstitions because I kind of do. Like if I sneeze, I won't walk through a door. That's one that I always do. I can't get away from doing that. That's something
that's another topic we need to touch on.
I think
superstition.
I feel like that's something that with me it's like an OCD now. Because mom's always said it when we were little. I feel like it's become like an OCD in your head, so I can't do it because of that.
Sorry to interrupt, but I also feel like I know where you're coming from, because when people think of Asian weddings, it's always the bright colours, the vividness, the colour, isn't it? That's what our weddings are about. So I suppose black seems very sombre, but why not?
I don't think it's a bad thing to wear black.
If everyone turned up in black, it's wrong.
I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's offensive, especially when they do black tie-dos and things like that. I don't find it offensive or bad or anything. But I think some people take it to extreme. Like I've showed someone a suit before and it's got like a little bit of black thread work in it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's kala ya, main kala nahi pa sakti. And
that's superstitious,
that's a bit too far for me, I think. But I don't think wearing black to someone's wedding is a bad thing.
No, neither do I.
I don't think people should be offended by it.
Yeah, we're talking about people's weddings you attend. It's if I wore black and attended a wedding, would the person whose wedding it was be offended by it? That's what we're saying, aren't we? Because we don't. We feel because we're not superstitious.
That's probably why people avoid it, is because they think people will be offended by it.
But is that the same thing with white? Because white, really, generally, in the Asian sort of, if you say it's a funeral colour, it is. White is the colour that really we shouldn't wear. But then that colour is incorporated. I mean, say in Hindu weddings, they say we need to have white, green, and red. Yeah. So I'm a little bit confused sometimes with colours.
I think it's all about, again, I think it's just all about like superstition and things like that. I don't, as I said, I do like, I can't say I don't follow some because I do.
Yeah, we all do. Yeah, we all do.
But I would still wear black to someone's wedding.
Yeah. But as a man, it's more comfortable for you to wear black.
Very true.
Would you ask them first?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I think as a woman, I probably would. If it was someone close to me, If it was my sister or someone, I'd say, well, I'm wearing a black sari. Would you mind? And if they do feel offended, then I'd say, all right, I'll change it. Don't worry.
Okay. So, Shivraj, if you turned up at a wedding dressed in black,
Yeah.
and there was, I don't know what the backlash would look like, whether it's someone saying it to you or giving you like side eyes or whatever, like, would you feel any type of way?
I don't think I would.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I'm the sort of person that, like, don't get me wrong, like, everyone's a little bit, like, they all have, if someone gives you a bad look or something, you do, I'm not going to say you don't feel a certain sort of way, but I feel like if someone does something towards, like, does give me a side eye, I'm someone that would stand in front of them a little bit more.
Right. Okay, cool. And I can vouch for you having superstitions because plenty of times I've sneezed. And
The ones that I'm not too bad. I only do the sneezing one and the Kala Tikka one. Whenever I go somewhere, I always put a Kala Tikka on.
Oh, wow.
Do you want to explain what that is for the
So
audience?
it's like a little black. It's like you literally do a little bit of eyeliner behind your ear.
Little black dot
Behind your ear.
that wards off evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had Shivraj's arm get hoisted in front of me before I've left through the front door because I've sneezed and been confused by why that's happened. So I can vouch for that.
I literally did that the other day as well.
Yeah. We want a little added
I wouldn't let
context.
anyone leave the flat until it was like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. This next question is from Milo. How do you balance glamour, work, and home life? I guess that's directed both of you.
To both of us, yeah.
Individually,
Because
yeah.
I would say it looks like a glamorous world, but it's not really. Because there's always the stress behind the glamour. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been backstage at the shows. I've been here. And I've
I
seen
mean, they
it
look
as an outsider.
glamorous, they look amazing, and, the end result is really good. But it's hard work. I think it's hard work. A lot of stress that goes into putting anything together, whether it's an outfit, a bridal one, or an event. It's always stressful, but we balance it by then going home and relaxing and chilling and, coping with our home lives as we should. Yeah.
I would say for me, I would like to say, I turn off when I get home from work.
You don't.
But I don't turn off.
No, he doesn't, because in the middle of the night I'll get a text from Shiv saying, "What about this?"
Yeah, I don't think
What do you think of this?
I feel like it's something. I feel like it's not like
You don't switch off?
No, it's like a 9 to 5. Where with a 9 to 5,
You have to switch off.
You can turn off, and you can just be like, oh, do you know what? This is on a Friday. So you can be like, this is a Monday problem now.
Yeah.
But I feel like with what we do, I don't feel like
I
you
don't
can.
think you can, yeah.
I feel like we tried to.
Do you ever dream? I dream sometimes
Yeah.
about an outfit that we know is very important. Sometimes you'll dream about it and think, it's not come out right, or it's wonderful, or, because it's on your mind constantly. It's there, so it's in your conscience. So, there is that lovely, glamorous world. Love the outfits, love all, the people we get to meet. It's beautiful, but there's a lot of stress hidden behind it all.
But I think one thing that I would have to say that I've learned as well is not to take my work frustration out on people when you go home.
Yeah,
Do you see what I mean? Like, you can't, if you're stressed
It's
at
easily
work,
done, yeah.
I don't think, like, I'm still learning that, don't get me wrong, but I still feel like it's very important to not take that out on the people that are close, because I feel like sometimes you take things out on the people that are closest to you.
Yeah, true, yeah.
And I feel like that's one
But
thing.
that's where you sort of like dump all your sort of frustrations and
Yeah.
say, "Ah!"
I always have a meltdown, so yeah.
Yeah, I was going to follow up and ask if the work life bleeds into your home life without you realizing it. But I think you guys have kind of answered that question. And I guess it's just part and parcel of like the reason it looks glamorous is because so much hard work goes into it. Like when it looks like someone's not actually working, they're just doing it naturally. Actually, a lot of the time it's because so much has gone in behind the scenes, even like practice and all the hard work and learning and stuff, and everyone just sees the end result. It's like the iceberg. You only see the top part, not everything that led up to it.
I feel like also like in our sort of industry as well, it's like whatever you're going through personally or at home, you always have to put a smile on whenever a customer walks in or someone walks in, you have to have like this big smile on, because it's like a new bride that's coming in, or it's a new client that's coming in, that you have to have all this energy for. And it's not a fake smile, don't get me wrong, because you're happy to see them. But I feel like you always have to be on your A game, and you always have to be ready for someone to walk in and just ask you a load of questions. And we have to do that.
And we're prepared for that, really, because we want to answer all those questions.
And it's not, we don't just do it once a day. Think about it on a Saturday, how many brides and grooms we have. So we literally do that. It's literally like we do that 6 or 7 or 8, sometimes 10 times a day when we have new people coming in and asking the same questions. But I still think it's so important to just keep a level head and just be able to answer them. And
which I hope, touch wood, that we are sort of upping our game all the time by doing that, because otherwise we wouldn't get those customers.
And I think that's the good thing about us as well, because there's 2 of us in it. I feel like we can, if one of us is feeling a bit like, oh, I can't do this next one, we just pass it on to the next one. So it's like, it's a teamwork, isn't it?
Absolutely,
So
yeah, that makes sense. I think it's important too, because I always wonder how barbers cut so many people's hair.
Yeah.
What if they're tired? What
and
if they're having a bad day?
With you.
And chat with you. And, that could go really badly wrong.
Good job at the end of the day, even though they just want to get home.
Yeah, literally. If you're like their last client.
Customer.
Sometimes, even if you're their first client.
Very true.
It might not
Depends
go
how,
well.
how last night went.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
If they're hungover, they're just like...
Yeah. Okay. Next question is from Ria. And it's, do you think there is a stigma still attached to brides, or even potential brides, and maybe for men as well, for grooms, when it comes to finding partners or finding people who they're going to marry, if they met them through a dating app compared to meeting organically? There is a joke online and just in general where people are like, even on dating apps, it'll be, the fake story of how we met. Because I think, there's this whole thing about,
sort of like,
we met on a dating app. It's a bit like, embarrassing or a bit weird. Do you guys see that in the shop, I guess, just to add on to the question?
I have seen it, and I've done it in the past as well. When I have met someone and it's been on a sort of app, I've always kind of pretended like, oh, you've just bumped into them somewhere. Do you see what I mean? Because I feel like sometimes it's that thing of, it is a sort of stigma attached to it a little bit.
I'm completely the opposite to you, because I feel it's a great thing nowadays. Meeting people through apps is such a fantastic thing, because you're getting to know that person not just as what they look like, but what they value in life, or everything they've written down hopefully is the truth.
Yeah, true.
And it matches because you're matched up, aren't you? I don't know, I've never been on.
But I feel like the stigma that's attached to it is from, I think, like when I was younger, obviously I didn't know about dating when I was younger, but when I was younger and on TV, on these Asian channels, you would always see like shadi.com and things like that. But then those sort of
that
websites...
was completely different. It was arranged,
those websites, but it's still a dating app, because you're still meeting people to get married.
Yeah, those were like the first...
Yeah, but these are not to get married, is it? This is to meet
I'm just
people.
saying this is where I feel like the stigmas come from, because I feel like the people that are on those shadi.com and things like that, and there's other like marriage sites out there as well, or even dating sites, I feel like people, they think that you're desperate if you're on there. So some people class you as being desperate, and it's like, they're struggling to find a wife, or they're struggling to find a husband, that's why they're on a dating app.
Absolutely, 100% agree with you, because in the old days they were vachole. Vachole were the people who got the boy and the girl together. So a vachola will know both the girl and the boy, and then they'll match them. And that's, most marriages were put together like that.
That's now Tinder or Bumble.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it is. Yeah. Because now nobody wants to be a vachola or vacholi, because they don't know what their own kids get up to. So why would they be vouching for other people's children? So, the world has moved on. We all have different views, outlook to how we're supposed to be living our lives. So it's not somebody's views are not going to match with somebody else's. Yeah. So, some families are very modern. They don't mind, their kids dating, going out, I don't know, even sleeping together. But then there's other families who are still stuck in,
a traditional
not stuck,
sort of way.
But they are still in that traditional sort of manner where they want to almost pretend a vachola introduced our son and
Yeah, I
daughter.
get that.
Even if they meet outside, they still want to, not say they met on a
I feel
dating
like
app.
ill when I have some brides and I'm like, I always ask, like, obviously when we have brides, we always become very friendly with them and we talk to them. And I'm always like, how did you meet your partner? And like a few brides have actually whispered to me and they've like, it's been on like a dating app or something like that. And it's always when you're not around or when
Someone older.
Yeah,
isn't
someone
around,
older's
yeah.
not there. And I'm like, oh,
But
that's
don't-
really nice. Like you've actually met someone through a dating app.
But
Like
don't
that's
you think
normal
that's
now.
a wonderful thing?
It's normal now.
Most of I feel a lot of people that we meet, coming here shopping for bridals, are through an app. They've met through an app. A
Yeah.
lot of them have said we've met through an app, and I think that's great. And even people in my family recently, we've had a few engagements, and they are people they've met through an app, but they're very happy with.
I think-
Last year my niece got married. She met a guy. They both met each other through an app, and they are so suited to each
But
other.
I also feel like
it's lovely.
It opens the doors up as well for you because you find someone probably where you're not looking for them.
Yeah.
So in terms of if it's a different city, for instance, you wouldn't technically go out in that city to find someone, but it just opens the doors, I think, a little bit more for everyone to meet people, new people.
Yeah. I mean, there are disaster stories as well. I've had them in my family. But, I've heard of nightmare stories. But, it's no matter what, even if it's a vachola who's introduced you to someone, that's still not going to be the perfect marriage.
There's
is
still
it?
disaster stories
Absolutely,
there too.
yeah.
I think the dating website thing is a really good point because especially if you watch like old movies, even like Western ones, and I'm not even talking that old, I'm talking like early 2000s.
When we were younger.
Yeah, they'll make jokes about someone being on like eHarmony or something like that, which I don't even know if those sites exist anymore, but I think there might still be a bit of a thing about
the stigma about it.
It was like digital, it was soulless, it wasn't a fairy tale, kind of like how maybe we grew up thinking it was. So yeah, I think that's a really good
the
point.
whole world has become technological.
I just don't feel like...
So we're all digital. So I think even relationships are now being created digitally,
and
aren't
they're
they?
being maintained digitally as well. Like, imagine if you aren't able to FaceTime your partner every day, or you're not able to, I don't know, text your partner throughout the day. Like, before... Like, I don't know how people would have done it before, but now I just see
I'll
it
tell you how it was done before. A letter from India. It'd take 10 days to get here.
So did you say you would get, on a serious note, you would get a letter from India?
A letter from India. And then I'd reply, and then he'd get it 10 days later. And then
10 days.
Yeah, it took ages,
So you couldn't be like,
and even if
today
we
I
made
woke
a
up.
phone call, it was like, hello.
And I bet you had all the family there as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah, like eavesdropping.
There was no romance.
That's really interesting. All right, our next question is from Sunrise UK. Makeup for grooms, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, I've got nothing against it.
Okay.
Boys do go to get themselves groomed.
Yeah.
So why not? If something's going to highlight their face for that wedding day or for the pictures, because it's all about the pictures, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look how much we pay photographers. So if the bride's going to look beautiful, why can't the groom look handsome?
It's like when all of our models go on the catwalk as well, all of our male models, they're obviously wearing makeup. And I don't think there's anything wrong in sort of just highlighting what you have and just making yourself look a bit more glowy, looking a bit more sharper. If you've got a bit of a darker under eye, just making
Yeah, of
you can
course,
still make it look
covering it.
natural, just making
Yeah.
it look a little bit more awake.
Yeah,
Do you see what I mean? Waking yourself
absolutely.
up a little bit, looking more groomed.
Yeah.
I don't think that's anything. I've done men's makeup on a groom before that I've styled.
Yeah.
And like,
And a
he
lot
was
of men
like-
have their eyebrows done nowadays,
Yeah.
even if they're macho men. They still go and get their eyebrows.
But they always do that thing of they always
and they're
say,
trimming lovely, they have their beards
Beard
nicely.
sharp.
Yeah,
but
why
they
not?
always say make it look natural, which you still can.
Yeah. So long as you're not wearing blusher and lipstick, that's fine.
Yeah, well, if they want to, they can.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. I was going to say, is there a line? Because I was just about to ask.
With me, I'm the older generation, remember. I would sort of bat an eyelid, as they would say, if a groom turned up with lipstick on. Because, I don't know. I mean, I'm from that generation, whereas you would probably say, no, it's fine.
I think even for us, it might look strange.
Yeah.
And that could be
especially if you've got a beard and you wear.
Yeah, I think it's just social conditioning. But men wearing makeup's not a new thing in our cultural history. It's not a new thing either.
No, it's not. I mean, in the old days, if you see the movies, the men wore, like eyeliner,
eyeliner's
kajal.
Like a big thing.
Yeah,
for
it was huge.
Asian man.
And even when babies were born, boy or girl, mothers used to put surma, which is like
it's like a coal or ash.
Yeah,
right?
a coal into their eyes, so their eyes would look bigger, and they look good. So makeup has been.
Well, actually, I did that for the first time the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, for a party for the theme.
Okay, and how did you feel?
It was fine. I mean, it irritated my eye, but that's beside the point. But like, didn't have any hang-ups about it.
No.
It looked cool. It fit the theme. But yeah, it's interesting how a certain kind of type of makeup might be seen as weird or off-putting or something like that.
Again, I think if it looks natural, it's normal.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how people see it. And if it's a little bit out there, it's not.
Fair. Okay, cool. Next question. This is from Daksha. Is it cheaper to shop in India? I'm guessing she means for bridal wear.
It's a lot more of a headache, I'll tell you that.
But is it cheap?
And it's not cheaper. I don't think it's cheaper. First of all, you have to pay for your flight. Then you're not going by yourself. You'll be going with your friend, your mum, your sister. Maybe your dad might tag along as well to pay for it. But no, it's not cheaper. Then I know people say, oh, we've got relatives out there, we'll stay with them. But whatever, you're not going to come back, sort of like with money in your pocket, because I feel India is, if you want good stuff, nice quality things, then it's not cheaper. If you want to go for the cheaper, tacky sort of, sorry, I shouldn't say tacky, the sort of cheaper looking or quality-wise it's not right, then India is cheap. So, it's up to you what you want, really.
Okay, do you think if it was... Sorry, what were you going to say?
It's like what you said in terms of like, even when we went for work, and I went there and I thought, oh, there's going to be all these shops and it's going to be like this, it's going to be like that. We went there, all the shops that I went to, I was like, this is the same as that shop, this is the same as that shop, this is the same as that shop.
You're
and
the
it's
best example.
It was the production line, and you were like, oh, why don't you go into that one? Why don't you go into that one? And I was like, I couldn't find anything.
You didn't buy it?
It was my best friend's wedding. It was last year, my best friend's wedding. I was like, at least if I find one or two nice kurte or like a nice outfit I can wear for a pre-event, I was like, do you know what? I'll pick it up. I said that to you, didn't I? I was like, I'll pick it up. And you were like, yeah, if you see something, just pick it up. I saw nothing. Like, I'm not just going to say, I'm not just like putting it out there, but I literally saw nothing that I was like, do you know what? That's really nice. It's really different, because every single shop had the same thing. And it was it's run of the mill.
The difference is we choose stuff that it's all from India. Don't get me wrong, but we pick and choose the best stuff that we need to sell in our shop that looks good, that we feel is of A quality and looks different and is nice.
And I think it's about building on it as well. Like how we do it is when we source fabrics. So we source a fabric, and then we'll make one lenga in that fabric that we've sourced from this tiny little place in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But we will put our own embroideries on it, do our own cuts, our own shapes, things like that to make it look different.
Unique.
And, and that's what does it. Whereas
all our outfits are bespoke.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people do sell things just off the peg, but we try to make our outfits bespoke. So, you're not going to turn up at an event with someone wearing the same outfit, basically.
And if I feel like some people as well, when they do buy, just say from India, and they go to like in Punjab, everyone always goes Fagwara, don't they, for shopping?
Yeah.
They go to Fagwara and then you buy this fabric suit and you turn up to a wedding. It's happened in our family as well. Like my dad and everyone went to India. This is years ago. They went to India. They bought these suits. They bought my sisters both these same suits. Turned up to a wedding and there was 3 other girls wearing the same suit. Because they were all from Fagwara and all the shops in Fagwara are selling the same suit.
Worst nightmare. Although we might even source from Fagwara, but again, I'm going to come back to that point, is that we make our suits bespoke. We'll bring fabric from Phagwara and we'll put it together and create an outfit.
It's all about the cut.
It's all about the cut.
embroidery.
Yeah. It's all about that look that's going to be different from everybody else. India can be cheap, but it can be expensive as well, depending on what you want.
The only things that I liked when we went was in the designer stores.
Designer stores, which are
We went-
triple, even quadruple the prices of what we sell here.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know?
Okay. So it depends where you go. It could be even more expensive
Yes.
Yeah.
in India.
Yeah.
That actually leads to our next question from Priya. And you've kind of answered the question. Why are you guys expensive?
Exactly. The reason is because we make our outfits bespoke. And we put a lot of time and effort into each outfit. It's not a production line. We won't make 10 or 20 of the same outfits. If I made that same outfit 20 times or 50 times, it would be half the price. But because of all the,
But why would it be half? I think you need to explain why it would be half the price.
it would be half the price because we'd buy the fabric cheap. We wouldn't buy 10 meters. We'd buy 1,000 meters. 1,000 meters is going to cost me less. Then I'd get the same embroidery done on all that 1,000 meter. It'll be done half the price of what I would be paying for one outfit. So
Because it's done as bulk.
yeah.
Because it's in bulk, it works out cheaper. When you make one piece, it works out a little bit more. Not extortionately more, but it works out a little bit more.
Yeah.
But you have that look that you want where no other bride will look like you.
Exactly. And we use quality fabrics. So that's the difference. We will use pure fabrics. We're not just going to pick up man-made fabrics that are going to look a little bit rough or not, not having that look. There is a look. When you look at something and it looks expensive, that's what we're trying to create. But I don't charge extortionate prices like designers should or do in India. Like a lehenga we've created together, we will sell at a certain price. But if that same lehenga was created by a designer, it'll be triple the price.
And I always think of people that ask these sort of questions. One thing that I always say to them is have a look at our Instagram. You'll go through our Instagram and maybe, yes, one or two brides will have this similar sort of, it won't be the same lehenga, it'll be a similar sort of lehenga on. Check out other places that you're going to try to shop at that you think are cheaper. Go through their Instagram. You will find that same lehenga repeated about 10 or 15 times on different brides in the same cut.
Yeah.
And that answers your question for you.
I was about to say that does answer the question very, very nicely. So off of that point, into our next question from Aisha. What is in fashion for wedding guests for 2025? So not the brides, for the guests. Or groomsmen, actually.
I would say this year, in suit, I feel like we always talk about lehengas and saris, but in suits, it's that Farsi salwar is very in.
Yeah, it is. It's become
It's
very
like a
popular.
wide, it's like, where is it from? The 60s, was it?
Yeah, I remember wearing it in the 70s.
So was it 60s or 70s?
70s, I'd say, yeah.
So
Well, no, it's actually way back from the 50s.
oh, really?
Yeah, like fashion evolves.
Hmm.
So it comes round, and it's come round again probably a third time now. Because that Farsi salwar, if you see in the old pictures of some people, they're wearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, Farsi salwar. And everything is what you make fashionable yourself, because a lehenga will never die out. It will always be fashionable. So will...
A sari is always going to be
A sari is
evergreen.
classic. But it's just how you drape it, how you wear it. It's all about colours and
It's about
embroideries.
the blouse might go out of fashion, for instance, a
Yeah.
cut of it,
Yeah.
but the sari will still stay
Yeah.
in the fashion.
Like deep cuts are very in,
Or
low
the high
backs.
necks, the long sleeves.
Yeah, fashion is, it's a thing it's classic. There's a classic style that you can wear again and again and again.
And I feel like what's in at the minute is it's very it's like opposites. So like we've said, it's either very deep, otherwise it's very high. It's either like a zero neck with long sleeves,
Yeah.
otherwise it's like a little bralette that's really deep. So it's like one end to the other end of the spectrum at the minute. I feel like.
And
it's
also
very in.
very fashionable nowadays is the partner of the girl matching. So, you know, if it's your partner, as in it doesn't have to be your husband, your boyfriend, whoever it is, matching with the same colours. Recently, we've had quite a few couples that have come in going to friends' weddings, and they've wanted to match with their girlfriends.
It's quite nice in the Insta pictures.
Yeah, because this world is very Instagrammable, isn't it? Everything should be matchy.
Yeah. I think we touched on this in our last Q&A episode, and it was about like fashion differences here, or fashion trends here compared to like India, and how much have things changed? Did things go out of style? I think that was mainly what the question was. But yeah, that's interesting, especially the two opposite ends of the spectrum thing, because actually I've kind of noticed that as well. And they both seem to be seen as like equally sexy, equally fashionable, no matter how covered up, or if you're like really showing a lot, they're both like equally seen as desirable.
I think it's good because it's also giving people like that opportunity that if you want to be modest, you can.
Yeah.
You don't have to, just because you're not showing skin, that you're not trendy.
Yeah, that never should mean.
Trend.
Yeah, that shouldn't mean that it's not sexy or it's not fashionable or it's not attractive or anything like that. Next question. I think we've touched on this in our etiquette episode. But you guys can drill the point in further for people who don't still kind of understand why this is important. So from Garan, why are you guys so strict about taking pictures in store?
Hi, Garan. The reason we are strict is because... I feel like the reason we're strict is because, as we were saying when we were talking about designing and things like that, the amount of time and effort we put into going and sourcing fabrics, sitting together, like having the time even to sit together, because we're so busy sometimes in store or even just in life, just sitting together and actually being able to brainstorm it and create something together. It takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of effort, and also it takes money as well to travel and find these fabrics and things. Obviously, for someone to come in, snap a picture of something that we've created, take it somewhere else. Yeah, take it back to
or
India.
even somewhere else, another shop.
And then be like, I want something like this.
Can you make me this cheaper?
Yes, they won't have something like that. But it's still, sometimes we do like a different cut, or we use like a different colour, or we use a different fabric. You've almost stolen a part of our design.
Yeah.
And
it's stealing.
Yeah, it does come back to etiquette. It's a bit rude. It's like you walking out of our shop with an item, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that as well.
So that's why.
It's your intellectual property, right?
Yeah.
And your creative
But there's
property.
no such thing as copyright. I'm sure there is, but with the Indian market, I don't think it's actually feasible.
I was actually going to ask, like...
It's like in music, if someone was to steal, if someone was to steal, an artist was to steal someone else's song, but just change the lyrics but use the same beat, it's still copying. Yeah, so it's still you've changed the lyrics, but you're still using the same beat. It's still the same bass line.
And I've actually had clients that someone who's very upfront and honest and said, "I loved this outfit. I saw it so many times, couldn't really afford it. It was out of my budget. But when I went to India, I did take a sneaky pic and got it made, and it looks horrible. Can you make it for me?"
Within 2 weeks or something silly like that, I always say. We've had that a good few times.
Yeah, and sometimes I do understand, yes, things can be out of budget, but sometimes it's better to spend more than having to spend twice, isn't it?
And I also feel like people always say, do you know when they say no pictures are allowed? Like someone has argued back and they've said, why not? You guys take India designers. You guys copy India designers. But I wouldn't say we copy India designers.
No,
like,
we
okay, you take inspiration,
yeah.
but I'm not saying we're the type of people that take inspiration and literally make the same lehenga in a different color. We don't do that. No. I'm saying we take inspiration by, it's a beautiful cut, or it's I like the way the fabric's sitting, or something like that, or someone's used a new.
Yeah, we all need inspiration from somewhere, don't we? Yes.
But we've not copied something outright.
No.
Yeah. I was actually going to ask as a follow-up to that, is there any way of kind of safeguarding, or because you mentioned copyright, and there being no
I
real
don't think there
thing.
is.
The only safeguarding we've got is me or Mossy telling you basically you're not allowed to take pictures, God, and I'm sorry.
Or Masachi taking the phone away.
Yeah, I guess that's one way. But if someone was to
Or
go,
even if we say delete the picture, please, we've said that. Can you? Because we've said several times, please don't take any pictures. And they still sneakily taking pictures.
There's some people that,
and then we say, can you delete the picture? Even if we ask them to delete it and they'll delete it, it's gone in the bin. They can recover
yeah, they can get
them.
it from their recently deleted.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and some people know that they're not allowed to take pictures, and because they have the phone on the side like this, and then you say, "I'm really sorry." We don't be rude about it. I don't think I've ever been rude and said, "You can't take a picture." I feel like we've always been like, "Excuse me, we don't allow." I always say, "I'm really sorry, but we don't allow photography."
Yeah.
Exactly how I've just said it there, because it just tells them that.
But when they still do it, it makes you angry.
It does, but we just have to hold our composure, don't we?
Yeah, or stand in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Because we know when they're sneakily taking
when
a
the
video.
hand goes into the bag,
Yeah.
you know what's happening.
And the phone just sits there, then you know, and then I purposely stand in front of that person or take the outfit away because it's not fair at the end of the day.
I hear that.
And I think you could ask any Asian store, not any, but majority of the Asian stores, I would say, and they would all say the same thing. Yeah. If they've designed something, then they won't let you take a picture. If they're stocking designers from India,
that's different.
Then it's a different thing, because those designers in India, sometimes they don't allow you to take pictures, but everything's on Instagram already, so they allow that. But for us, we don't allow everything on Instagram, so that's why we don't allow photography.
Fair enough. If someone was, I know you're saying about catching them in the act, but if they were able to sneak a picture out and get it remade or whatever, is there nothing in place to really...
So that's actually happened recently. Let's talk about this, actually, because that's actually happened recently. And someone that is in my family, their sister-in-law came into the shop and she was lovely with us, and we spent a good hour with her. Both of us did. Spent a good hour with her. She tried these lenge on. She basically tore apart another shop, like she was bad-mouthing this other shop like anything. And then she basically walked out and she said, do you know what, I'll come back to you guys in a couple of days. Just let me sleep on it.
I love everything you've shown me.
I love the way you served. I loved everything that you showed us. We were like, do you know what, that's fine. But we still didn't allow her to take pictures. We thought we didn't allow her to take pictures. Then I was on Instagram was it this month or last month?
This month.
Beginning of this month, I was on Instagram, and my relative that posted the picture of her sister-in-law was wearing the same lenga as what we had designed for our catwalk show that she had tried on. And I was like, what the
Fuming.
hell? Because she had got that lenga made from the same shop that she slagged off. So
and there's nothing you can do
and there's nothing we can do. The only thing I did do was I messaged my relative and I was like, your sister-in-law, you look beautiful. She was wearing one of our lenge. My relative was. I was like, you look beautiful, but your sister-in-law has literally copied our lenga to the T. And she was really apologetic, obviously, and she was like, I'm so sorry you did that. I was like, it's not your fault that she's done that, but obviously just in the future, it would just be nice for her to basically have some respect for other people's sort of work and not do that again.
It's a shame that there's no safeguarding or regulation with that. I can't really think off the top of my head what could be done. At least with, you made the music example before, you do get licensing and you have different codes and things like that. And especially nowadays, it's actually a bit too good at recognizing it. You can get found for stealing music or whatever else. There's a whole system in place, and I just thought, now how would you implement that for clothes? I don't
think it would be very easy, because they could say it might be the same outfit but my neckline's higher.
Right. Yeah. How can you prove that?
How can you say it's your outfit?
My blouse is different.
And in the creative process, you don't want to be taking note of when you came up with an idea, when you designed the actual thing, and then take a picture. This day is when we got it, and it kind of...
I've actually been told that when I first started out and people copied my designs, I used to get very angry, very upset, and sometimes even tearful. But then someone said something to me. They said, you should be honoured. somebody's copying your designs because you're doing something right. So
I need to get to that stage.
So that made me feel good. Yeah, that at least I'm someone that somebody is wanting to
taking
copy.
Inspiration. You're becoming that inspiration for someone.
Yeah,
it was a good idea basically for someone to steal it, to copy your homework basically. Yeah. Okay. So this next part, we basically come to the end of the questions.
Okay.
This next part is just something kind of fun that we can do, but basically for our audio listeners, so Arinder and Shiv are going to pick out their favorite outfit that is in the store currently right now, and they're going to tell me, they're going to tell us why it's their favorite. Now, obviously for the people watching the video, they'll be able to see it, but both Shiv and Arinder will be describing the outfit. So we'll give you a bit of time. Go through the shop.
30 seconds.
Give you about 15 to 30 seconds.
Okay.
Let's do this.
We've chosen similar colours.
I think this is by the way, this is like a very sort of favourite colour of ours. We always
Can you describe the colour for the people listening?
It's like a nudie pink.
Peachy pink.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
We keep going towards this colour.
Sure.
And it's been going for 2 seasons now, I would say.
Yeah, I would say it's one of our favourite colours, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely one of my favourite colours.
Should I move the chimney out of the way? I don't feel like you can see.
So, Arinder, would you like to explain why you picked... Well, first, would you explain what yours looks like?
So, it's a very big skirt. And it's sort of a fusion outfit, which is what I'm known for, my fusion outfits. Very big, puffy skirt with a little, sort of like an over flap. And then it's got a blouse that's fully embellished in like crystals and pearls. And I feel through my career, that's what I've been known for, to create the fusion outfit. So this could be worn by an Indian bride and an English bride. I mean, if this was all in white, it could be a white wedding dress.
Sure. Yeah.
And, like I've always said, like girls are born and brought up in this country, so they want tradition as well as being modern. And I feel this is that fusion. And there was a choreographer I knew very, very well a few years, many, many years ago. He used to do a lot of my choreography for fashion shows. And every time he saw my collection, he'd say, "That's an Arinder Bhullar."
Right.
Because of the nice big skirt that I'd take on the catwalk. And bless him, he's not around anymore. But it sort of reminded me of that time. And even though that was like 20 odd years ago, this is still in my shop today. It's still fashionable.
Yeah.
It's got a lovely veil.
You actually designed this it used to be a dress 20 years ago, didn't it?
Yes, it did, yeah. And then now I've sort of, I'm always sort of like trying to be a little bit creative with different things. And now it's a skirt and a top.
Nice. Cool. Shiv, would you like to first explain what yours looks like?
Okay.
And then explain why you picked it?
So it's we've gone for like I would say almost like a traditional bridal, but it's actually a powder blue color, and it's got a Banarsi slit in it. So in the skirt, it's got this slit that comes out as you walk,
right?
And it's got a border on the bottom of the slit, like that.
That's cool.
And then the blouse is matching. So the blouse and the slit is in a sort of nudie, dusky pink, peachy color. And the skirt is in a powder blue color. And It's got like green thread work with cream and the dusky pink in it. And then it's got 2 dupattas with it. So 2 chunnis with it.
2 chunnis, yeah.
And one's like a shawl chunni, which is almost on a green tissue. And it's got the border going all the way around it. And the other dupatta's on a peachy pink net with a powder blue backing on it, and it's got embroidery on top of it again, and it's all French. It's what's it called? French knot. Yeah, all the embroidery is French knot on here.
Okay.
And the reason why I like this lehenga is because everyone calls it every single bride that comes in, they call it our Bridgerton lehenga because it's exactly the colours of this Netflix series Bridgerton, and again it's that nice fusion.
That blouse is beautiful, nice and deep and
wide.
It's like the blouse is beautiful.
It's like
and it's got
like
button
a
feature.
wide sort of round neck with these buttons, And I feel like it's a nice fusion again, because
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
traditional, but it's modern colours. So it's a nice sort of little pop of colour, and it's something a little bit different that girls don't normally go for. So instead of going for your traditional reds and pinks and things like that, it's nice to sometimes do the powder blue and throw people off when you walk in.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, hopefully the people listening can visualize what you guys are talking about. But as usual, you can follow the brand at Arinder Bhullar on Instagram, on TikTok. You can see these designs for yourself. You can get an idea of the kind of the flair and the finesse that go into them. And yeah, thanks for sharing your favorite outfits and why.
Thank you, KaeDee.
Yeah, why you.
I've got a question
enjoy
for
them.
you, actually, KaeDee.
For me, okay.
So you went to your friend's, I think it was her Mendi party recently,
Yes,
and you wore a kurta from us.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you wore that kurta?
I felt amazing.
Like, what made you feel amazing about it?
That's an interesting question. I guess because I really liked the fit of it, so I felt good in it. It felt very like the word regal is like coming up in my head, but like I don't want to say sophisticated. There's a better word for it, but very like slick, I guess, or sleek. And just the design kind of looked. It was a black one, but it was like the subtle little designs or patterns that were in there that weren't too in your face. I guess that's why the word like slick or sleek is kind of coming to mind, because it wasn't just like, wow, look at this, look at this, look at this outfit. It was a fusion thing. It was subtle. Subtle is the word I'm trying to think of. It was subtle. It had a lot of finesse behind it, and I just felt very good. The fit was perfect as well, which is like the icing on the cake. And it wasn't just plain all black. It had just a little pattern and design on it, kind of helped it pop in a,
Nice
again, not in your face kind of way. Yeah, I just felt really good wearing that. I was going to say it would have been funny if you both picked out 2 black outfits based on the first question that we got.
I wish I bought your black kurta.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I would have picked that one because that's, the one that I wore, so I'm biased in that respect. But yeah, thank you guys very much. And thank you for everyone who sent in their questions. If you have more questions, like we said, we'll be putting up another poll on Insta, at Arinder Bhullar, at Styled by Shiv Rura. Get in touch, leave a comment under the videos. And if you don't think your question was answered satisfactorily, just ask it again, and maybe we'll throw it back into the rotation. Maybe. But yeah, thank you, Shivraj. Thank you, Arinder. And we'll see you guys next time for our next episode.